All right. Elle, can you hear me okay? Can you give me a thumbs up? Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. Where is everybody? Hope you're doing good. Doing good. I think Lori's here. Lori, are you here? Are you phone only?
Lori
No, there's Lori.
walking
What's
in right now.
I love
Figured
it. I love it.
I'll kind of be in the background today.
Okay. Okay, you got it. You got it. All right. Well,
Hello.
hello. How are you, Lori? Lori, this is Elle, Lori.
Hi, Elle.
This is awesome.
Hi, Lori.
We have a couple fireflies and recorders, a few more than actual humans here. This is good. The robots are taking over, everybody. Here we go. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's okay. I want everybody to have this. We'll wait for a few minutes to let everybody get in here. Good morning. Good afternoon, Jen. Good morning. Good morning. You guys are all over the world. We have Arizona and California and Hawaii and Massachusetts in the house right now. So life is good. Everybody selling houses today?
Hopefully. Yeah, we're just closing on
Let's
closing
go.
one, two new listings. So two listing
I love
appointments.
it. I love it. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I know everybody loves this conversation of time and doing more with what we have and making the most out of everything. And Lori, I am so happy you're here. Thank you. Again, guys, the not the genesis of the conversation I want to have for you, but maybe the genesis of the conversation, the rebirthing of this conversation I want to have with you all came from a conversation Lori and I were talking about when you have 20 pounds that you're stuffing in a 5 pound bag. Jen, you don't know anything about that, do you? Elle, we never work at that level, huh? There's so much going on, and here comes Coach Lori. We just met. We knew each other for like 4 nanoseconds. It was great. They said we need to carve out this 90-minute block and put it in the schedule somewhere for this thing we were working on. And she looked at me so wonderfully and said, "Here's what I got. Where does it go? I don't know how to do that." She said it much more elegantly than that, but basically that, and it really got us on a conversation of, "Hey, Brooke, morning. After why do I keep saying that? I've been up since 4:30. Good afternoon, Brooke." Um, anyway, the idea of the jam session and the idea of really finding the ability to protect our time for deep work has been a big part of my conversation ever since. I know a number of us have spoke about it. And I want to dive into this, guys, and I want to, James, welcome. Um, I want to dive into this conversation, then let's open it up for conversation. And please, if you have anything to say, stop me. Um,
Let the dogs out at all?
Yeah, Belle. I could get Skipper to go off the sidewalk.
Don, hit mute, please. Thank
Oh,
you.
sorry, I thought I
That's
was.
okay. Love you. Somebody let the dogs out, please. We
Dawn,
don't.
I just have to
Yes.
say hi to James.
Please.
James, Lori from Tucson. Oh, you're good.
Lori, how you doing?
How are you? I'm a new coaching student of
Oh
Dawn.
boy. All right. Well, I don't want to hog the floor, but good to see you.
Nice to see
We'll
you too.
chat later.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Is this good? Is this good? I
Yeah.
hope so. Okay, awesome. Awesome. That's great. Love making connections. Julia, welcome. Um, okay, so I want to share a story I've shared with some of you, and then I want to share some slides and some ideas. Let me have 20, 25 minutes, guys, and we'll get into anything else, this at a deeper level or anything else. Um, Picture this, about 13 years ago, maybe 14 years ago, I'm in a ballroom with Tom Ferry. I think it's November. There's about 300 elite clients back then. Tom was doing an elite retreat in the beginning of the year and one in the later part of the year. Unfortunately, we don't do that later part of the year anymore. It was amazing. Anyway, 300 of us with Tom business planning in November. We all hang out because of that guy, right? That was a big deal. It was a fun, amazing, insightful, brilliant room to be part of. One of the 3 days was a man by the name of Darren Hardy spoke to us. Some of you know Darren Hardy, amazing businessman, author, guru-esque speaker. And I knew Darren, I knew his books. I'd never seen him speak. It was a mind-blowing 8 hours he had the day. For 90 minutes of that day, and this is where everything we're going to talk about stems from, he was talking about one subject, the power of monotasking versus multitasking, right? And I know we're realtors, and James, we're outnumbered, but most of you are women. You can multitask compared to us guys. We are very tunnel visioned, right? That multitask. James is like, yes, I don't think it exists in my world. I can't walk and chew gum most days, right? That doesn't work. But he went on to talk about the and you all do 92 things pretty damn well simultaneously some days. So I want to talk about the other days where it doesn't always work to your advantage today. He went on to talk about how the disadvantage we have of multitasking, where we think we have this amazing advantage. And he was talking about, tell me if you've ever had a day like this. You sit down to make these 7 phone calls. And as Brooke, like daily, I sit down to make these phone calls. And as I sit down, the water's a little light. I got to go fill up the water. I'll be right back. On the way, I get involved in 4 text messages. On the way back, I have to go potty. And then when I sit down, the email comes out, and now we're dealing with the transaction nightmare. And if I ever get back to those 7 phone calls, I'm lucky, right? Anybody ever had a day similar to that? Yep. And at the end of the day, you feel exhausted, and what got done? Less than we wanted to get done in most cases, right? So he said the game is monotasking, and that sounds great on the surface. But then he introduced the concept of the jam session. And I love that term. I'm a kid at heart. Hard things got to be called something cool that I can hang on to. And so I've taken that idea, guys. Can you see the jam session slides? Am I sharing the right screen? Cool.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And what he was really talking about here is our calendar being full. We're very reactive. You guys, I don't do slides with you too often, so thanks for bearing with my notes here. I wanted to share this with you. The lead generation block, anybody lead generate or follow up on the go, one here, one there on the phone, right? We don't really have a true lead generation block if that's the thing for our jam session. The day kind of happens. We're exhausted but not productive. I think we all raised our hand versus being intentional, results, proactive, lead gen. Can you imagine? Hold on. Can you guys imagine if you actually protected your lead gen time like at least once a week? Lori, going back to our first conversation, no, coach, I have no idea how to do that. Right? I mean, could you imagine what we could accomplish if we actually monotasked 90 minutes a week in lead generation and follow up? Just saying, food for thought. We designed come on in, Tony. We designed the day the night before. We're focused and measurable on our outputs, and of course, mono versus multitasking. Okay, first of all, is this resonating to anybody besides Lori and I yet? You guys are all here, so I'm assuming that's why we're here. So this is a good topic. Any thoughts, questions, concerns, hallucinations yet, Brooke?
So, I mean,
before I was in a new market, figuring everything out from the start, we did 3 to 4 hour blocks. And then I did some ISA work as I was transitioning from Florida to Cali. And yeah, I mean, it's frankly, we would oftentimes say until you hit 10 conversations, like legit conversations, or until you set one appointment, you're still going. And the tough part was when the people call, like transaction emergency, ignoring them. And we would say, okay, you can ignore them until noon. Then you've got to do it. But we also had a transaction coordinator that was not just like a paper pusher. Like
That's right.
she would talk with them directly. So we had that as well. But that I miss because I don't have a big database to call right now.
Yeah. Brooke, let me ask everybody a question. You're talking about that. Give me a raise of hands real quick when the last time is you put 90 minutes on the calendar for something that you accomplished that wasn't sleep and that was uninterrupted for that 90 minutes that did not include another person on the other side of that. When was the last time you showed up for yourself for 90-ish minutes with zero distractions? Anybody in the last 30 days? Awesome. How often? Every day? Okay. Okay. Well, I find deep work very helpful. I don't know about you guys. I know we get very scattered with going in a lot of directions. You guys are here. I don't see anybody looking at their phone. Those of you I can't see, maybe you are. You have the skill that we're talking about. I just wanted to remind you, you're doing it right now. Congratulations. Thank you very much. You do it on listing appointments. You do it on buyer appointments, right? I've asked you all, if I call you during a listing appointment, what are you going to do? Yeah, screw off, coach. Peace out. We'll talk to you next time with love, right? And I tell you all, don't answer. That's exactly the wrong answer if you say, hold, my coach is calling. Wrong answer. So you have the skill. We can do this if we want to. We've got to decide to do it. And Brooke, I want to show you this. This is going to be great. The next slide literally is us getting into, yeah, we should have a revenue at least building session every single day built in, probably. Some of us, this is a weekly project we need to get into. Some of us need two. We need to do that hour and a half of lead gen, hour and a half of pipeline management and follow up. And man, what about a third, right? Getting to that 4.5 hours a day. Some of you need to put 3 90-minute blocks in the schedule throughout every single day. I don't think Pete's with us. Pete and I put this together about a year and a half ago now for his database. Monday, 6 hours blocked out in the database. That's how it goes. We're knocking it out all in one day. He has a monster day. It takes care of the week, and he's on appointments all week long. The team's there. It's amazing. But we've got to figure out, is it one a day? Is it one a week? Is it 3 a day? Is it 3 a week for you? And listen, you know me, call, text, knock on doors, hold 92 open houses. It doesn't always have to be lead gen that needs to be in that 90-minute time block that requires your attention right now. Anybody dabbling in AI? Good idea not to have 92 pings and dings coming at you as you're trying to figure out what Pantana is teaching you to do or what buttons you're pushing, right? The interruptions really have a hold on us, and we got to be careful, right? And imagine this. Imagine if we could do 2 of these a day. And I have to ask a question before I go on. What would happen if you actually had an hour and a half on the books for you for lead gen and follow up a day on purpose? Right? You all do it. You all sell a shit ton of houses. I know that. And what if you were to do that and then an hour where nobody could touch you? You could handle whatever the day is bringing at you that requires you right then and there. The stuff we wait till 7 at night at, right? And we just knock out because it's got to be done and we drag our ass through it. Excuse me. What would happen if you actually had 3 hours built into your day on purpose that you controlled 100%? Would that be helpful? Okay. I don't want to live in fantasy land because this is completely doable. So bear with me now. We're gonna figure out how to make this happen. So how do we put 2 sessions a day together, 5 days a week for 10 hours? You all work somewhere between 30 and 90 hours a week. I know you all. Some of you crux on 100 hours probably. So I'm only asking for 10 for you. That's it. The rest, everybody else gets 10 of the blocks, 15 hours a week. Could you imagine if you put 15 hours a week together on purpose for yourself? Lori, what if we just did 90 minutes a week on purpose for yourself to get started, even, right? Maybe that's the game changer to build it into your day. So, this is the page, Lori. I don't know if I think I showed you this page. It was in a different format. I've shared this with a couple people. There's rules to this. You all are thinking about, but this, but that, those people, those deals, my husband, my wife, my kids, my agents, my clients. I got it. 90 minutes is not the end of the world, regardless. Regardless, a client, an agent, an escrow officer, whoever it is, 90 minutes is not, you might adjust this to 60 minutes. You might be so busy, 45 minutes is the best your nervous system can handle. Okay. But we have to let everybody know that's important. That might bug you, that might keep you from your game. You might use as the excuse as to why you couldn't, didn't. You would have, but you got to let them all know, not this time. Because you're doing it right now, they're not getting through. And again, at a listing appointment, nobody's bothering you. You just got to tell the people. And we got to turn our phone off. We got to put it in airplane mode. Watch all those faces, but that's just money. I don't, yeah. And it's a distraction at the highest level possible. And that's what we're talking about right now. If you can turn the notifications off on the Focus app, do you all know the Focus app? My iPhone users, at least. If you don't, I'm not going to do an iPhone tutorial. Ask me next call, but it's a diagonal sweep. When it's on, I promise. And the Focus app, yeah, just like that. It's that easy. That's why I wasn't going to do this. There we go. Focus apps right there. There you go. Thank you very much. You can swipe in there and set up a timer for yourself. It's called prospecting time in my world. Jam session 1 and 2, actually. Pick your jam session. It turns off all your notification, your beep, your dings, everything you set up. And you can let Brooke and me through and nobody else comes. You decide our numbers are allowed or your children or your spouse are allowed. Everybody else is shut out until you do that. That's rule number 1. It's got to be on there. Now, you're going to say, what if I'm using my phone? Then don't put it in airplane mode or anything. Just turn off your notifications. If you don't know how to do that, Google it, YouTube it. It's there. You can find it all, I promise. I know you all don't do it very often, but remember, you all said, yes, I would like to do this. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, no email, no social, and no task switching, which brings me to another story. Mr. Darren Hardy is telling us a story about mono versus multitasking, and he's talking about task switching. Like I said, getting up, going potty, going to get the coffee, or better yet, texting, MLS, email, Claude, Gemini, the email to the marketing dude on the listing, setting up photos, that thing needs to stop. He said, getting back to the thing you were originally focused on, sometimes never happens, rarely happens. The idea to come back to it at the best is 20 minutes. 20 minutes from the time that we said, I'm going to do it, to shiny squirrel and back again to the original task, 20 minutes. He also went on to say that the multitasking at level is worse than smoking pot for our brain, our focus. And then the joke, of course, everybody, and you get none of the benefits, right? So why bother? Why are we doing it to ourselves? It doesn't make sense. So the task switching, and we've really been able, hey, Jason, we've really been able to watch this with a couple clients going from client management and batching. You all will do this. What? You get a new buyer, you have the conversation, you go in the MLS, you set up the search, you set up the email drip, and you go by client, right? But you're task switching all the time versus collecting 5 leads, making your 5 phone calls, making your notes for all 5 of them, getting in and data entering all of them, getting in and doing MLS search setup, MLS batch by task. This is for you. Absolutely, Jade, this one's for you. Start batching by task, not by client. That compresses time and the white spots, the arbitrage of task switching for the client. We might have to take extra notes. So have a glass desk and a not a Sharpie, excuse me, an Expo or a notepad for what needs to be done right next. But you don't need to jump and do the task. Finish in the technology you are in now. And it's like the momentum of dialing. The best time to set an appointment is right after you set one, right? I don't know if you all know that, but scientifically proven by this guy. Set one, get on the phone, dial again, set another one. Texting, text, send, text, send. Emailing, knock all your emails out at the same time to those 17 people. Get in there and knock it out. Don't go from email to setting up that next drip campaign. Drip campaign for Judd needs to be done. And then I'm back in the technology I'm staying in, so I get momentum on my side. Make sense? Especially when you're in the jam session. The task switching is nothing but a distraction like the rest of it. So no task switching. Pinky promise? We've got to figure that one out, guys. That's a big one. Thank you. Okay. You don't have to pinky promise. It's okay. I just know if you pinky promise, it'll actually get done. All right. One defined outcome. This is super important. So why are you sitting down to make those 17 phone calls? Why are you sitting down to get that marketing plan finally done? What is the one thing you're sitting down in a jam session to accomplish, right? One goal. If there's the goal of getting this list of things done, cool. Just be very defined about, I have these 17 2 to 5 minute tasks I need to get done. That's the goal, to move through each one of them. Awesome. Tune out the rest of the noise, right? One defined goal gives us the focus. We can work right to the end. This is another big one. Set a timer. Set a timer. I love me a good timer. Set a timer, get done, move on, right? If you have other things going, Lori, this one might be specifically for you. If we're trying to compress time and find some time for that one thing, set a timer, give yourself a defined time, and then move on. You've done the absolute best you can with focus time for 45 minutes. Move on to what needs to be put onto that 45 minutes. That can be critical. 2 appointments, right? And that time makes all the difference in our month, in our quarter. So set the time, end on time. This is my favorite, but you guys will try to fight me on this one. I understand. Do not reschedule ever, ever, ever. Reschedule everything else around it. When you give yourself the gift of 90 minutes, you give yourself, anybody else have a great routine in the morning? Jason, I know you do. Does anybody get in the way of your routine in the morning? Get the hell out of here. You're not allowed. I know better. Sorry. I'm only asking questions today. I already know the answer to, Jason. Thank you. You can't get in Jason's way, man. He will let you know when he's available, but not right now. You reschedule around the jam sessions, because if it's in your schedule, if we're going to this length to make it something we do no matter what, right? We figure out, don't reschedule on yourself. Hold yourself to account to your jam sessions. And then yeah, build your week around it. I just had to say it differently. Make sense? So here's the thing. I want you to be very clear on the single focus. You're here to work on your business. Check my emails and stuff. I mean, if that's the one thing you're doing, we don't need a jam session to check your emails and stuff. Unless it's the 90 minutes a day you have set aside to really go through and organize and respond to and do nothing else but that. Do some follow up again. Who are the 17 dials I'm making today? Be productive. Get out of bed, take some deep breaths. You have been productive. Congratulations. Let's get a little more specific. Let's get 25 past clients called in the next 90 minutes. Let's get these 3 videos done. Let's get the listing presentation knocked out from my point of view. Or let's call every expired. Again, one of my favorites. Any other thoughts, questions, hallucinations before I go on? Am I still, you guys still with me here? It's
Yes.
good? Okay. Okay, just checking in. Had to check in. You guys are awful quiet today. So I think this is absolutely doable. I know this is absolutely achievable for each of you. And I also know when any of this happens this week in the last 7 days. Hold on. I need to see all of you. Who's talked to me about doing a jam session and come back in 7 days and say, I got busy, it didn't happen? I know there's been a few of me that maybe nobody on this call or nobody that'll admit it. That's okay. I've had a few of those this week already, and that's cool. Keep your hands down. I got busy for the one thing that I set time aside to move my business forward on. Doesn't register very well with me. We got reactive. We're moving on defense. We're not very offensive. When we can't find 90 minutes out of what are the hours in 7 days? What's that number? 168? I don't know. A lot of them. We're only looking for 90 minutes a week, maybe a day, right? So let's not get too busy to do one thing. Let's make the one thing, if not the priority, definitely a priority for the week. Right? Or I will say, let's have a reprioritization conversation. It's not as important as you want. So we have to schedule sessions like a listing appointment. Talk to many of you like this. If you had $1.5 million, $2 million listing appointment, for some of us, a $622,000 listing appointment, nothing would get in the way of that. You would schedule around that, right? Every one of you would schedule around that. I'm asking you, at least on the weekly, if it's you and it's a daily thing, on the daily, then schedule around it. Make it that important to you if you really want to get it done. I need to check something real quick. This is the email that got the inspection request on the tough listing with the tough seller. And I needed to check that real quick. 17 hours later, oh shit, I never called Brooke. That's only happened in my real estate life. Nobody on this call, I am sure. There's got to be a fix. It's got to be the notes. Write it down, act on it after the session ends. This is such a big one. It seems so simple, yet I know our monkey mind, our silver squirrel reaction. If I do it now, it'll take 3 minutes and I'll get it done. If that actually is true every time you say it, go for it. I don't think it is. I call a little bullshit on that one. You're welcome. So be careful of that one. Write it down, act on it after the session. The 91st minute, bring it on. Bring on all the chaos. Right now, I'm sticking to my guns. I don't have 90 minutes. You see my notes here. I don't have control of my schedule if that's the case. Start at 60 minutes. Start at 30 minutes if you need to. Build to 90 over a couple weeks. We don't have to solve it all in one fell swoop. Just know, again, like my email, the relief you all have when we talk about it, it feels great. It feels great. But we got to set it up. So here's something, because what gets tracked and measured. If you want to track this with me, if you want to measure this with me, you know I got you. You can do this on your own if you like, but I'm always here. You can buddy up. My Arizona people, you are now accountability partners with your jam sessions. Yeah, Lori and James, welcome to Coach Don's schedule. I love it. All right. So how many are we doing? Did we hit our revenue session? What was the distraction level? What was our outcome? Did we achieve it? Prospecting calls actually made. Daily tracking numbers if we're doing this. Weekly tracking. How many sessions did we actually get completed? How many revenue sessions this week? How many appointments actually set? Because if we're doing these things and not setting appointments, if lead generations are 90 minutes, the appointments are the reason, right? The outcome needs to be tracked to make sure we're making the moves we want. For those of us that are working on YouTube stuff, got to track where we are to make sure where we're going makes sense. And of course, those leads along the way need to be happening. How many contracts are we actually writing? How many closings are influenced through our 90-minute jam sessions? Questions, thoughts, concerns?
Can you put that last slide up for one quick sec?
Yep, grab it.
Okay.
I'll share the slides with everybody too. I'll make sure I send this out.
Okay, cool.
Oh, on a total side note, before I go on, in the email, did anybody happen to see the video? Did you click through the video of this that I sent you?
I started. I didn't finish it.
Awesome. Okay.
Go.
For those of you who build slide decks, no problem. I didn't drop it into YouTube. I know it was 2 clicks to get through. It's this whole presentation I'm showing you in 3 minutes with a female narrated voice over it. After I fixed my slideshow, does anybody do slide decks? Jason, you do. So Claude and I extracted this out of a larger deck that I have. Claude's amazing. I put a few animations to it, and Google Docs, right? They dropped it into Google Slides for me. Google Slides has a new button that says create video. The damn thing right inside Google Slides took my 11 pages I'm sharing with you, all my animations, read it, spun some AI, and now a female. This whole presentation is done in 3 minutes. That's why I sent it to you guys. If you want the cliff notes, there they are. But that tech, holy crap. Are you serious? I just found it. This is the first time through it, but for those that are using decks, have some fun with that. All right. Any other? There's no way this works in my world, Don. Thoughts going through anybody's head with this before I go on? Lori, we're going deeper here with all of this. What's going on through your head?
I don't know if it's, I mean, I'm seeing some relief in my schedule. The task switching is something that you're right. I think multitasking is overrated. So I am looking forward to trying to figure out how to stay on task. And one thing I have that I've done for years that I think you'd said write everything down, make notes. I love these. I know I'm old school, but I love the Tom Ferry books that he gives out free. I write everything in there so I can always go back if I need to. It's always in one place. Just for I've started that, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, and I love it. I mean, you can do it online, obviously different formats, but if you have I do think that's probably the most valuable thing is writing, your little notes down and going back.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, whether it's digital or on the iPad and using the pencil,
right.
Or any way you do, it just keeps us on track. And I I would love to know, guys. This doesn't show up and just get implemented the first 30 seconds perfectly, right? We're talking about habits you all have earned and created over years that who the hell am I to come in and how you do that thing. I am just suggesting doing these things that back to back to back to back. Please remember that, right? How you
Yeah,
keep track of it, I haven't figured out better than keeping those little notes of those things because I think we go do that thing because we all have a slight ADHD. We will forget about it and move on to the next, whether it's diagnosed or not. So writing it down is the only way we're going to be okay with not jumping to do that other task right now.
mhm.
It is. So awesome. Glad to hear that. Anybody else? Okay. Easy enough. Easy enough. You guys are easy today. I love this. Let me get back into this. So we have our tracking. And again, I'm going to share this with you guys, all these slides with you guys. Okay. So how are we doing? Right? How are we doing? You all are high producers. You want to make sure, coach, don't give me crap that doesn't work. I want to make sure what we're doing is actually moving the needle. Was that a jam session or was that reactive work? You know the difference. Did you pick up the phone? Did you respond to the text? Did the email make you feel or do a certain thing or way? Or were you able to block it out for 60, 90 minutes and handle it afterwards? Be honest with yourself. What was the one outcome going in? Did you set that outcome? Were you focused on that? If you can't answer that immediately, probably was super vague. We got a James, was that a scratch or a hand?
It was a scratch.
Okay,
You
got
got
it.
please.
I caught it on the way down. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. But that's it. Let's have the focus. 25 contacts, one appointment. These 12 people contacted, 10 CMA conversations, 15 expireds, whatever it is. This is another way to ask the question, did you protect the time or did you leak it? Anybody else get really focused for a very short period of time and then 20, 25 minutes in, you find yourself 19 tasks later, right? That's leaking our time. This, I don't think I said it here, has to be so protected. One tab, only the tabs required for the task at hand if it's requiring more than one task. Does anybody, I know all of you all have your task open like your mind is, right? We all operate with 92 tabs going and we don't know where the music's coming from, right? You guys have seen that meme. Not during this time. Even if that means you have to pull your CRM down away from everything and only have that tab up, like I only have this tab of this presentation up. Maybe that's it. Make sure the focus is there. Don't leak it. And then how many revenue sessions did you complete this week? Right? If revenue sessions are important jam sessions to you, maybe the marketing is working such where the business is floating in and the revenue sessions are just appointments being set. That's amazing. It's awesome. You're hosting in 2 weeks if that's the case. Remind me, that's how it's working, okay? All right. So if you really want to do this, if you really want to put it together, I want to give you a plan. How do we really build this in? Right? Sounds good. What do we actually do? We got to install this. So we're introducing the concept right now. Commit to one session a day. And for a few of you, one a week. For a few of you, you'll have 3 a week. Whatever that commitment is, commit to the smallest viable test here for yourself. That's really what I should have said here. Pick your first one outcome. So let's talk about that real quick. What would you do with 90 minutes, no interruptions? Sleep and it is not an answer that is acceptable for this time. You can create more than one jam session. You can throw nap time, power nap in there. That's fine. What would you use 90 minutes for?
Claude.
Claude. Yes. AI work. I love that. What else?
Have 5 legitimate conversations.
Yes. What else?
For me, I am prospecting agents basically to request permission to do property tours for my YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. We got to set those appointments up. Okay, what else? Julia, I can't wait to hear from you. What's going on through your mind? What would you use 90 minutes for?
Batch social media or work on the marketing, you know.
Like a personal marketing session, just deep marketing for yourself. Yeah, yeah. How often do you get around to that now?
Scatterly all over the day, whenever I have a few minutes in between.
Yeah, it's kind of like the follow-up, right? We've just fallen into we do it as we remember, catch a breath, da da da. If we start chunking it up, wouldn't it be interesting if we start looking at it through these jam sessions? Everybody's going to know, wow, Julia and Elle answer their phones between this time and this time, like all the time, but I call over here and they never answer. Huh, maybe I'll call here and I'll get with the program. If we do this, it's so good for us. We start training everybody around us on how we operate.
Hmm.
Okay. Before I go on with this and ask anybody else, I need to ask another question that's coming to mind. Deepak, glad to have you here. Deepak, watch the little videos, dude. This guy, excuse me. Deepak, congratulations. Deepak's like he runs a brokerage up in Canada. You guys, everybody else is in the States, Deepak. And you guys, who knows BNI, the networking group? You know what that is, right? Okay, one profession per. This dude didn't connect with BNI. This guy got together with five of his buddies, and they all went and recruited and put a room of 70 business owners and leaders together last night, right? Tuesday, right, Deepak? Tuesday. And I just saw a clip. I'll shut up for a minute. Give me 30 seconds, Deepak. What? Can you share a little bit about the night with us?
Sure. You want me to show the clip or you want me to
Give
share
me
it?
30 seconds. I want to get into a couple more things here real quick. How was it?
That was fantastic. You know what? As Don mentioned, we six of us, for different industries, we created this group 3 months ago, and we simply created a structure. Why don't we just each one bring two business owners in our first dinner meeting? And first week of March, we got together. So we became from 6 to 18 all of a sudden. And then there we decided, how about we have another event in April and let's play for 70 people. So we really made some calls, all of us, and we invited the other 12 who came to the first dinner night. If you are looking to come again or if you have some friends. So all of those came by, plus some more people came by. So we had 79 registration and 74 attended the event day before yesterday. So, and then we created another game from there. So next event is going to happen 150 people.
Yes,
So
we are. I love it.
150 like-minded business owners meeting quarterly for sure, if not more often, and supporting each other. And we're really building that community who is there to look after for each other. So that's the
And
context behind.
and lastly, how much did it cost, Deepak?
I think we'll be making a dinner plus maybe $50 more in my pocket. Not spending, but
Everybody
saving.
everybody paid their own bill for ticket too,
Yeah, it
guys.
was
They sold
$55
tickets.
ticket.
Yeah.
$55 ticket with dinner and everything. We paid 45 to the banquet owner. I think $4 something for Eventbrite, and rest of the money we use for the name tag, some other accessories and everything. So we'll be netting maybe $100 altogether.
Yeah.
Regardless,
Beautiful.
but we made good connection, and we invited Bank of Montreal team, the local team, and that resulted to their president for Canada, who is managing residential mortgages. He visited my office this morning because they got so inspired from that event. So he was traveling to Western Canada to different branches. So the lady who was branch manager here was a friend of mine. So she wanted to connect me with Tony, who is President Canada for BMO Mortgages. So
I
he
love
came
it.
to my
I
office
love
too.
it. Very, very cool. Anyway, Deepak's going to do some more. We're going to do some collaboration. I'll get you in front of everybody talking about it. Great job, my friend. Just wanted to
Thank you.
give you that public recognition. I'm very proud of that. I was happy to see that. Yes.
Thank you, Don.
All right, cool. We have 15 minutes. Let me jam and get through here. Da, da, da. All right. Okay, so introducing the concept, we're committing to one session a day at least, maybe one a week. Again, you know your schedule better than me. Pick your first outcome. You all have an idea of what it would be. Don't even worry about the tracker yet. Just get the habit going for the first week. Into week 2, we're building it. You did it. You've realized you can do it. You may have leaked the last 15 minutes, but better than we did the week before. You get to 2 a day. Can you get to 2 a week? Can we double it in week 2? And again, week 2 to 3 is where we're going to double that. You can do it. You saw your life didn't fall apart. Nobody is doing business with somebody else because you weren't there at that moment. By the way, does anybody ever worry about not answering your phone? No? Okay, good. Didn't think that was this group. I just wanted to make sure. It's not bad customer service not answering your phone. It's bad customer service not getting back to them in a timely manner with the information they need. So don't do that, but it's not bad customer service at all. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right thing here. Not answering the phone. Just want to say that. Okay. So start tracking daily. Now we're tracking daily. We're doing this a little bit more often. We're reviewing the trackers with that guy, your coach, on coaching calls. And where's the leaks? What's getting in our way? This is a new habit, right? If we're going to actually install this. And then only for the strong at heart, not for the weak at all. But Don, you don't know my schedule. I can't do 4.5 hours of deep work. Okay, cool. Don't. That one's not for everybody. Only if it's appropriate. We'll keep reviewing it, identifying the conversion data from your sessions. And yeah, we'll talk about 9091 in a minute. Guys, I've put this resource page together. You can get to it there if you would like. Has nothing to do with what we said, but I got some cool, all my GPTs are there, my books there, the audio version of the books there. Got some cool resources there. So if you want that, jump over there. Okay, that's the presentation. Who's implementing more jam sessions this week? What thoughts are running through your head? What says no? I can't do that. What are you talking about, coach? What's going on? Yes, sir.
What session are those? What are we talking about? Like the prospecting session?
So we're talking about the jam sessions has been the entire conversation, Deepak. So 90 minutes cordon off. Nobody's getting in. What you and I have been talking about for the recruiting side of things too. How do we protect the calendar? Put 1, 2, or 3 of these jam sessions where I'm not answering the phone. People aren't bugging me. It's not time for God minutes. I'm not responding to outside influences. I'm doing the one thing, whether it's recruiting, prospecting, marketing, the plan for the year, finances, planning for 150 and make those calls, whatever that one thing is, cutting off all outside influences so we can actually stay focused, not doing this like we all do every day. That was the entire point of that session, right? That's what I want to get into. Who can add something into their calendar this week?
I'll do,
Lori?
I'm sorry. I'll do
Yeah.
SOP audit and expansion development.
Perfect. Actually give yourself some time to go deep into the conversation we just had yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Yes, sir. Tony.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Tony.
You know what? I'm finding that I'm giving myself excuses and it's just getting lame and I'm sick and tired of it. And when I hear what you say, I'm saying, it is possible. But number one, stop the excuses and just do it because I can. And number two, I just if you don't mind me asking others, calling for me almost seems like a waste of time because I call and call and call and usually I get voicemail every once in a while and I mean like once every maybe 30 calls I'll get a person. So I'm thinking of maybe just texting and emailing, but am I just unlucky or is that about what everyone else experiences as far as the
And
calls
Tony,
answer?
these are more cold leads than warm leads. Let me be very clear about the people Tony's talking about. He's not talking about his
Yeah,
personal database. He's talking about expired Z buyer leads, things like that are not right here in our personal database.
yeah.
So what I can say, having been a big phone caller, is, check your lead pillars, right? So, and then just have like the right expectation, right? So if you're calling, say, like PPC leads, right? Or, home value leads, like they went to your website and said, I'm just curious what the value of my home is, right? These are early stage. So you're going to have to call them 10 times before they pick up once, at least.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
It's just about that consistency and then really have your script down, right? And if they hang up, cool. Put them in a different rotation, but keep going because they won't remember
Yeah.
you. They
Yeah.
won't.
That's true.
And then
That's true.
now your expireds, like tomorrow's May 1st. In our old office, there was nothing else that anybody was doing except for calling the expireds on the first. It's like, get up, let's role play at 7. We can't call until 8. But then, like in Army, we were calling the expireds and three times until we get them on the phone that day. They're more bottom of the funnel, right? They didn't, but you also have to know how to navigate those calls. They're frustrated, so we're going to approach them different. Follow-ups, I guess they're not really like your first prospect. Like the first thing you want to do is new business, and then the second one is follow-up. So if you have follow-ups, obviously they're a little bit different. I'm trying to think of the other lead pillars, but FISBOs, they're tough. I don't know if you're going for
You,
buyers or listings, but
Listings,
if you look at your
listings.
lead
yeah.
pillar,
Now, to go
okay,
back to
so
the original question, Tony, I also want to say yes, texting works. If you and Tony, I know you have been dialing in, putting these ideas together and making sure the focus is there, the right mindset, as Brooke said, is there is absolutely important. And texting is setting some appointments. I have Brian, shout out to Brian out in Arizona also. Arizona's in the house. I don't know. I have Arizona coming out my ears today. Sorry, everybody. Arizona rules the world all of a sudden. Um, he's killing it texting expireds right now. I probably shouldn't tell all of Arizona that now. And he's finding that's working real well. We're finding texting FISBOs doesn't work as well, so we're getting back on the phones to dial with them. So if you are finding that you are dialing and not smiling and nobody's answering, fix it up and absolutely start texting. And if you want the easiest, I can send you some examples, but your bad buddy ChatGPT or Revi and the AI, hey, I'm launching a text campaign for expired listings. Give me 3 to 5 text messages. And in fact, I would make it 8. Going back to Brian, since you asked, texting, just like follow up. And everybody, I want you to take a snapshot. If you have not seen this yet, Tony, I'm going to remind you of this. I know you've seen this. It's one of my favorite pieces of all sales right here. This sums it up. We are not
Mm.
touching them enough, especially if they're cold. We're just not. Jade, if it's too small, 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect, 25% make a second contact, 12% make a third, only 10% make more than three. And guys, this is contact. We're talking about attempts to make one contact, right, Tony? Right. So
Mhm.
that's even more. 2% of sales are made on the first, 3 on the second, 5 on the third, 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact, fifth to the 12th contact, 80% of the sales. I'm having this conversation with Brian. I go, what about text? He goes, I was using too many tokens on 12, so I cut it back to 8. It's the max I send. Nobody has ever not responded after the 7th. I don't even get to the 8th.
Wow.
7 times. So for all of you wanting to do more sales, if I can just get those attempts, Tony, whether it's text and or calls to be more to the same leads, we'll make more money. Happens all the time. It's the first move I always make before we go, what new leads? Should I text? Yeah, you should text. It's 2026.
Yep.
Yes.
You might,
Thank
I'm
you.
not
Thank you.
sure what
Thank you,
your
Bill.
database looks like, but you can also have like rules where they fall into certain buckets. So you know, okay, these I've touched this one, and
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I've talked to these people 3 times, 4 times, and keep track of those follow-ups for sure. All right. Any other jam sessions that we're scheduling this week?
So I've got weird prospecting sessions that I'm setting up. One
Yeah,
is,
yes, you do.
you know, these YouTube tours and calls to set them up. So it's I don't know if I want to call the actual shooting a jam. And then my other one is open houses. So I don't know if those are my revenue activities. I don't know if those are necessarily jam, but like for other jams, I've got this giant list of things that I need to do to set up my business. So I'm kind of like Kanbaning it.
Yeah, but only 3 at a time in the middle.
Right. So
Yeah.
I'm working on my listing presentation. Like that's a jam session.
Yeah,
I thought, and I
listing presentation is you had an open house. What are you going to do? Gonna be on your phone all day, not with the people? I'm not. Those aren't the situations I think we're talking about with this. Yeah,
Mhm,
I
mhm.
agree. But you on your listing presentation, you and Claude banging that system out. You making those 20 follow-up phone calls to the agents to schedule your 5 next videos. As awesome as us agents are, dialing for agents all day is not the sexiest use of your time, of course. So you're going to be leaking from time to time if you're not careful. I would absolutely call that a jam session. Knock that out as quick and as efficient as you can, right? We don't need to drag that one out. Absolutely. Jen, anything to add?
No, I'm just gonna look at my schedule, which is pretty available right now, and put some
I
stuff
love it.
in the calendar.
Okay.
And like what Anthony was saying, there's just really no excuse, you know.
There isn't.
Um, and just this, making the smallest bit of effort will change the trajectory of the year.
You all are good enough at 30 to 60 minutes, whether we're talking about dialing new or dialing follow up or recruiting, setting up the follow up emails I mean, you all have the ability to spend 30 minutes and move mountains, right? Set an appointment or two. It doesn't have to be this mountainous thing that we do put on the pedestal of being hard sometimes for us, right? Good reminder of we sell real estate, guys. We get to go blah, 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 very professionally, very elegantly, I mean, we impact people's lives. Please, I understand what we do. We move the world. We're not building brick walls. We're not installing roofs in Phoenix at 110 degrees, right? We have the honor of doing what we get to do for a living. We are mostly talking about the people we get to talk to or the projects that are in front of us, anyways. with all of this, please keep gratitude in the forefront because it could be a whole lot different just like that. This is a blessing to have these kind of challenges in front of us with our schedule. Where do we fit personal time in to work on the thing? Thank you, God, right? It could be a whole lot worse. And if we don't, they're coming for our time. They're coming for our effort. They're coming for our attention. Huh. This is vying for all of our attention, forget our client's attention. Intentionality, I think, is the name of the game of what we're talking about. Monotasking kind of hits it, but being intentional for you. And I want in. So I am over. I have to go. I want an email. I want a text. I want to know how the first uninterrupted 90 minutes goes on purpose, intentionally. But bring me along for the ride, okay? Let me know how it goes. Guys, I got to jam. I'm sorry. Have a great week. I hope this was helpful. I'll get everything out to you the next day or so, okay?
Thank you.
Have a great weekend. Thanks, everybody.